How deepfakes will impact the 2024 election. Welcome to this video on how deepfakes will have an impact on the 2024 election. Deepfakes are turning into increasingly more state-of-the-art and widespread, and they have the doable to disrupt our democracy in methods we have never seen before. In this video, we will discover what deepfakes are, how they work, and what their impact on the next presidential election. We'll additionally talk about what can be achieved to mitigate the dangers and make sure the integrity of our electoral process. Imagine this. It is a day earlier than the 2024 presidential election, and a video service is online of one of the candidates saying something particularly detrimental and offensive. The video appears actual and sounds authentic. However, it is a deep faux created through malicious actors. Within hours, the video goes viral on social media, and the candidate's marketing campaign is thrown into chaos. This is simply one impact of how deepfakes should affect the 2024 election, and it is why we want to begin paying attention to this rising danger now. First, let's see what are deepfakes. Deepfakes are digital manipulations of audio, video, or photos that use artificial intelligence or AI to create content that seems actual but is fake. They can be created by the usage of computing devices to get to know algorithms that analyze and replicate the patterns, mannerism, and the nuances of a person's voice, face, or physique movements. With sufficient data, computing power, and training, deepfakes can be almost indistinguishable from actual footage. Next, we will talk about how do deepfakes work. Deepfakes have been created with the use of a neural community that is skilled in a data set of actual movies or snapshots of the goal person. This community then generates new photos by way of combining and altering factors from the coding data. For example, to create a deep faux of a politician, the community may use pictures of the politician's face and voice from a couple of sources to create a new video in which the flesh presser seems to say something they by no means honestly said. The neural community analyzes and replicates patterns, mannerisms, and nuances of the goal character to create a convincing fake. This method requires a lot of information and computing power. However, with developments in AI technology, deepfakes are turning into a greater state-of-the-art and simpler to create. So, what are the dangers of deepfakes in elections? Deepfakes pose a substantial chance to the integrity of elections. With the capability to create convincing pretend videos, audio recordings, and images, deepfakes can be used to unfold disinformation, manipulate public opinion, and undermine faith in the electoral process. They can be created to exhibit candidates pronouncing or doing matters they in no way certainly stated or did, which can sway voters in one route or another. One of the predominant dangers of the deepfakes in elections is that they can be challenging to become aware of and debunk. Even if a deep faux is later demonstrated to be false, it may have additionally already unfolded extensively on social media or different online platforms, influencing the opinions of many voters. This makes it simpler for horrific actors to unfold false data and manipulate the consequences of an election. Additionally, deepfakes can be created shortly and cheaply, which makes them a fascinating device for these searching to affect elections, bearing being caught. Another danger of deepfakes is that they can erode belief in the electoral process. If voters come to be satisfied that the data they're seeing and listening to about candidates is unreliable or false, they may be additionally lose belief in the democratic system altogether. This can have long-term penalties for the fitness of democracy, as people may additionally be much less probably to take part in the future elections if they do not believe that their votes will be counted fairly. We will see how to have deepfakes have been used in preceding elections next. While deepfakes have no longer been broadly used in elections, there have been some terrific examples of their use in political campaigns. In 2018, filmmaker Jordan Peele created a deep faux video of former President Barack Obama as a section of a recognition marketing campaign about the risk of deepfakes. The video was once made to exhibit how without problems a deep pretend can be created to make it appear like anyone stated or did something they by no means clearly stated or did. The video went viral, and it helped to elevate the focus on the practicable influence of deepfakes on society. In 2019, a deep faux video of the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, used to be shared on social media through conservative companies in a strive to make her show up under the influence of alcohol or unstable. The video had been manipulated to gradually down her speech and make her appear intoxicated. Although the video used to be shortly debunked, It had already been broadly shared on social media, and it served as a warning about the conceivable use of deepfakes in political campaigns. Another instance of deepfakes being used in a political marketing campaign passed off all through the 2020 Democratic major election. A crew of activists created a deepfake video of former Vice President Joe Biden in which he seemed to be endorsing his opponent, Bernie Sanders. The video used to be supposed as a comic story and was once shortly recognized as a fake. However, it highlights that the ease with which deepfakes can be created and the workable for them to be used to misinform voters. Next, we will see how ought deepfakes be used in the 2024 election. There are quite a few methods in which deepfakes should be used to affect the 2024 election. One way is through growing pretend information testimonies that show up to be from professional sources. Deepfakes should be used to create convincing movies or audio of a candidate pronouncing something adverse or controversial, which may want to then be shared on social media and different platforms. This should be finished in a try to sway public opinion in opposition to a candidate or to generate terrible insurance of a candidate in the media. Another way of deepfakes may want to be used in the 2024 election is through manipulating images of candidates. For example, a deep pretend video should be created to make a candidate show up to be pronouncing or doing something that they by no means surely stated or did. This should be used to discredit a candidate or to create a scandal that ought to harm their reputation. What can be executed to become aware of and stop deepfakes? Detecting and stopping deepfakes is a complicated task that requires a multifaceted approach. One technique for detecting deepfakes is to analyze the noise of the content, such as the visible or audio excellent of the footage. Deepfakes frequently have degrees exceptional than actual photos due to obstacles in the technology. Additionally, searching for the inconsistencies in facial actions or lip syncing can additionally be used to realize deepfakes. Machine studying algorithms can additionally be used to notice deepfakes using inspecting patterns in the data. This technique includes educating an algorithm to understand patterns in actual pictures and then evaluating that to the patterns in the suspected deepfake. While this method is still in its early stages, it suggests promise in detecting deepfakes with an excessive diploma of accuracy. Prevention strategies consist of growing public consciousness about deepfakes and their conceivable dangers. By instructing the public about the dangers of the deepfakes, men and women can come to be extra conscious of the achievable manipulation and take steps to guard themselves. Developing superior computers and gaining knowledge of equipment to become aware of the deepfakes is additionally an imperative phase of prevention efforts. Finally, let's talk about what are the implications of democracy. The implications of the deepfakes for democracy are significant. Deepfakes have the conceivable to undermine the credibility of political candidates and political parties, as nicely as reputable information sources. This may want to lead to giant confusion and mistrust among voters, making it challenging for them to make knowledgeable decisions. In addition to eroding public trust, deepfakes should additionally be used to sow discord and confusion amongst voters. For example, deepfakes may want to be used to create pretend speeches or interviews in which candidates show up to take excessive positions on controversial issues. This should lead to a polarized political local weather in which voters are greater probably to be pushed through emotion as an alternative than facts. Finally, the widespread use of deepfakes should threaten the legitimacy of elections. If voters can't believe that the statistics that they are receiving are authentic, they might also be much less possibly to take part in the electoral procedure, or may additionally be extra probably to carry the validity of election outcomes. This may want to undermine the basis of democracy and lead to a loss of belief in democratic institutions. Deepfakes have the potential to significantly impact the 2024 election and the future of the democracy. While there are methods to detect and prevent deepfakes, the spread of disinformation and erosion of public trust remains a concern. We encourage viewers to stay vigilant and informed about deepfakes and their potential impact on elections. By staying aware of these issues, we can work to safeguard our democratic institutions and ensure that our elections remain fair and transparent. Thank you for watching this video.